10 places to visit in Poland. Poland has a history that dates back almost 1,000 years, with stunning medieval architecture, remnants of World War II, and its devastation, and castles and palaces in every corner of the country. But this ancient city is also home to expansive national parks, mountains, and lakes, with seemingly endless trails cutting through virgin nature waiting to be explored. No matter why you're heading to Poland, discover the most stunning destinations with our list of the best places to visit in Poland. Number 10. Torun. One of the oldest cities in Poland, Torun's history dates back to the 8th century. Because Torun wasn't bombed or destroyed during World War II, the city's medieval central marketplace and its many Gothic houses and wood-beamed 16th century buildings are still standing. The other must-see museum in town is Museum Pernica, dedicated to a type of gingerbread unique in Poland, where visitors can try hands-on baking. The entire Old Quarter area has been designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a great area to explore on foot, getting lost in little streets to discover the architecture and soul of the area. Torun's 13th century Teutonic castle is located here. It is partly in ruins, except for the sewage tower and cellars, as well as a nearby watermill. Number 9. Isle of Usedom. Since 1945, this island on the Baltic Sea has been legally divided between Poland and Germany, nicknamed the Sun Island. Because of how many hours of sunshine it receives every year, Usedom is a popular holiday destination for both countries. Soft white beaches, seaside resorts, and plenty of summer sports and activities are the main attractions. But the island is also home to a private botanical garden, the remnants of the Karnen Lift Railway Bridge, and the Dannenfeld Mausoleum and Cemetery. Lakes, nature reserves, and manicured gardens are also dotted around the island. Number 8. Poznan. Student travelers wanting to meet their Polish peers might want to visit Poznan. Long known as an academic center and home to Poland's third largest university, the city hosts many international events, including the Malta International Theater Festival that takes place every summer. Major sites are easily accessible by strolling the Royal Imperial Route, a walk set up especially for tourists. Athletes may enjoy a visit to the artificial Lake of Malta, home to a ski slope, ice rink, and swimming pools. Number 7. Gdansk. Sitting right on a bay on the Baltic Sea, the ancient city of Gdansk is home to Poland's main seaport. Most of the old part of the city, known as the Royal Route, dates back to the 17th century and is beautifully preserved. Some of the main structures here include the city gates, the prison tower, and a number of merchant houses. Gdansk is also home to the world's largest brick church, St. Mary's, as well as the star-shaped Wysogi Fortress and the Gdansk Nowy Port Lighthouse. Although Gdansk wasn't directly affected by the war, its Museum of the Second World War is one of the best historical museums in the country. It features a number of vehicles, including a Polish Sherman tank and a German DKW motorcycle, as well as artifacts, documents, and photos connected to the war and the Holocaust. Number 6. Lublin. Lublin, located east of Vistula, is another ancient city with a marketplace that may have dated back to the 6th century. Because it is located on Poland's eastern border, it became, early on, a line of defense against various invaders that destroyed the city over the centuries. It is also home to one of the largest Jewish communities in Poland. Evidence of Lublin connecting Western and Eastern cultures can be found at the Holy Trinity Chapel that blends Catholic and Russian Byzantine styles. But don't be fooled by the cobblestone streets and medieval architecture of the old town, as it boasts a lively arts and nightclub scene. Number 5. Bialowieza Forest. Europe's largest remaining section of the primeval forest that once covered much of the continent, the Bialowieza Forest Reserve, has definitely earned its designation as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The forest sits on the border between Poland and Belarus. A border crossing for hikers is actually located within the forest itself and covers an area of over 1,400 square kilometers. Bialowieza is a birdwatcher's paradise, and aficionados can join birdwatching tours headed by local ornithologists. But the forest is also home to bison and other large species. The small village of Bialowieza is within the forest, and so is the open-air museum of wooden architecture, windmills, wooden huts, a tiny wood chapel, a barn, and even a sauna. Number 4. Wroclaw. The city of Wroclaw hasn't always been Polish. Over the centuries, it has belonged to everything from the Kingdom of Bohemia to Prussia to Germany. Wroclaw has only officially been part of Poland since 1945, after the end of World War II changed some of the borderlines in Europe. The Lubomirski Museum is a good place to visit to learn more about the history of the city. The museum covers the invasion of the city by Nazi forces and later the Soviet Union, as well as a number of World War II events. The Wroclaw City Museum completes that history with an overview of Wroclaw over the past 1,000 years. Wroclaw's oldest area is the 13th century main market square, which includes St. Elizabeth's Church and the Old Town Hall. Just a few steps away is the Pan Tadeusz Museum, with multimedia exhibits dedicated to Polish customs. Number 3. Tatra Mountains. The Tatra Mountains and National Park form a natural border between Slovakia and Poland, though most of the mountain range falls into Slovakia. Because there are no borders between EU countries anymore, it's now possible to hike between countries easily. The Polish side of the park has over 270 kilometers of hiking trails. Poland's highest mountain, Rysi, is located in the Polish Tatras. At 2,500 meters, it's the highest Tatras peak in either country that can be climbed without a park guide. In addition, the park is home to over 600 caves, with the limestone cave system, Wielka Śnieżna, being the longest and deepest. The Tatras have waterfalls, streams, and mountain lakes. Morskie Oko Lake is the largest lake in the park. Located deep within the park, it can only be reached after a 2-hour hike through hills and a thick forest of Swiss pines. Number 2. Warsaw. Poland's capital was left in ruins after World War II. Almost 85% of its buildings have been turned to ash or systematically razed by Nazi forces. As soon as the war ended, the city embarked on a massive effort to reconstruct its historic center using original plans. As a result, the Baroque and Renaissance merchant houses you see today are perfect replicas of the originals. Warsaw might not have as many parks as Krakow, but Lysinki Palace and its formal gardens more than make up for it. This 18th century palace is surrounded by 76 hectares of urban forest and is home to a planetarium, an outdoor theater, pavilions, and much more. For a very different outdoor adventure, walk down Krakowski Promenade, Warsaw's best architectural streets. Old homes, monuments, the Presidential Palace, and the Polish Academy of Sciences are all steps from each other here. Number 1. Krakow. One of the oldest cities in Poland, Krakow was already inhabited back in the 7th century. Because the city escaped most of the World War II destruction that fell on other Polish cities, Krakow's old town center still remains its stunning medieval architecture. The Wawel Castle and the historic district of Kazimierz, also known as the Old Jewish Quarter, in the area are both designated as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Krakow is home to around 40 urban parks, including 19th century Planty Park, which covers an area of 21 hectares and forms a green ring around the city center, and the Lasek Forest, which offers hiking and biking trails in a large woodland area just minutes from the city center. For an unusual in-depth look into ancient Krakow and its streets, there's the Rajnik Underground Museum. A number of major attractions are located outside the city and are popular as day trips. Notable points of interest include the world's oldest functioning salt mine, Wieliczka, the Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camps, and the Tatra Mountains and National Park.